General Peters presents Horrorfest 2023, 19 Nights to Rock. This is the first Rio visit during Horrorfest of 2023, so welcome to Rio, boys. Night 1 was Friday the 13th, Part 6, Jason Lives, 1986. Part 2, Island of the Doomed, 1967. Night 3, Friday the 13th, Part 7, The New Blood, 1988. Night 4, Trilogy of Terror, the anthology film, 1975. Night 5, Horror High, 1974. Night 6, Splatter University, starring Dick Beale, 1984. Night 7, The House on Haunted Hill, 1958. Night 8, Scream Time, 1983. Night 9, Carnival of Blood, 1970. That was 1 week ago today, on Saturday. Night 10, Cat People, 1942. Night 11, House of Ghosts, 1906. Night 12, The Amityville Horror, 1979. Night 13, Grizzly, 1976. Night 14 was The Car, 1977, which I talked about yesterday in the ocean at the beach area. And last night's featured presentation for night 15 of Horrorfest was Frankenstein 1910, the original. Not a whole lot to say about this film except for it was fitting and timely since yesterday was National Frankenstein Day, as you saw in the head dunk video when Darth won. It was also National Black Cat Day, but I'd already seen Cat People, so I went with Frankenstein 1910, which was the first film, the first screen adaptation of a Mary Shelley work. It was also the first horror film to have a critic worry about what was shown in films, like in horror films, like death scenes and stuff. So very the trailblazer in that regard. So Frankenstein 1910. Not the first time I've seen Frankenstein 1910 for Horrorfest, but it's the first time since the first year that I made a recording of all the set list, 2015. So dug that one out for the second viewing. It is the first 1910s film of this Horrorfest set list. Tonight's feature presentation, and this is the first time I'll talk about the feature presentation of the night that the video is recorded, because it has been decided, and it hasn't been decided by you people. You think I'm really going to trust you people to make selections at this important juncture of Horrorfest? Sorry, I don't. Everyone would be going, "Where's the filler pick? Where's the filler pick?" All right, the nice feature presentation. The Devil Walks at Midnight, 1971, also called The Devil's Nightmare, also called El Diablo, it's whatever the Italian did, Noche, Terrorize, whatever the Italian title is. This is not only one of my favorite Horrorfest films, it's not only one of my favorite just horror films in general. It is one of my favorite films, period. It might be in my top 10 for all-time favorite films. I rented this from the video store, circa 2009 or 10 or something like that during AOL, but it's a Belgian-Italian film, and it has all the atmosphere that you could dream about, that you could ever want. The soundtrack is just spectacular. The beginning, especially, and then kind of throughout, and then the ending credits. Oh man, the music, guys. Check it out sometime. Check it out. Jean Versailles. I don't know how to say. It's the Belgian. He's a Belgian actor. Plays the Baron, and you see him first on screen at the beginning. This is during World War II, and I don't know if he's German or whatever, but he sacrifices his daughter. It's a very brutal scene. His newborn daughter, because his family is cursed with having the firstborn daughter, I think, being a succubus. Okay, many years pass, maybe 25 years or so. I forget. It tells you in the film, but he's now inherited this this, I guess, 15th century, 16th century castle. And this now, it becomes, I think, the 5th haunted house type horror film subgenre, if you count Island of the Doomed. I know it's kind of more like a mad scientist, but it's also got horror, haunted house type elements in there, so I kind of count that. House on Haunted Hill, House of Ghosts, and Amityville Horror. So that's this would be 5. So the haunted house thing kind of taken over now. All right, haunted house. All right, so it also has Jacques Moseo. I don't know if is that an Italian name? I don't know. He plays the priest's father, Alvin, who I really like in this movie. And then, so he's one of the 7 tourists, including the bus driver, who kind of get turned around on a trip and redirected to stay in the castle, of course. Very predictable for the night. Each of these people represent one of the 7 deadly sins, and they had this dinner that night, and then a strange young woman named Lisa shows up, and she's the succubus, but she kills all 7 of them in a state of their mortal, of the sin that they represent. Is really cool. So the guy who plays Alvin, I think, is really good. He's a little bit, kind of has some interest in Lisa. And then you have Lorenzo Terzan plays Howard, who is, I like him a lot too. He's the guy who's the kind of good-looking guy who's like married a woman for her money, this kind of older woman, and he's like hitting on the younger women who are on the tour, played Corinne and Nancy, played by Ivana Novak and Colette Emmanuel, who have a nice little scene together, a little bedroom scene together. I think it's Corinne. This is the one that Howard ends up hooking up with that night. And then I love the guy who represents Wrath, the old man, the crotchety old guy. He is really good. He gives a hard time to the bus driver who represents Gluttony. He's always like just whining to him and like blaming him for stuff. And I like how the bus driver is so nonchalant about it and just kind of takes it. That's that guy I relate to a lot, especially in that scene where the succubus tempts him to. She sets up this big feast for him. There's this great spread of food, and he's eating like this chicken and then drinks wine and dies. But I definitely relate to him. I definitely relate to to Howard too, because he represents envy, and I couldn't really. Envy? I couldn't really figure out. That was the only one I couldn't figure out why he represented envy. He seemed like more closer to like lust, greed, and maybe like pride, because he was kind of like primping in the mirror and stuff. And he was kind of primping, so I kind of relate to him. And of course, Hans, who's like the butler, the old guy who was present and knows about the sacrifice of the firstborn daughter. He's like a butler guy in the house, and he tells these gruesome stories as he's leading each person into their rooms. Like there's a woman that was killed here, like thrown out the window back in 1670. It's hilarious. That guy's really good. He's played by Mare de Groot, I think, who's probably in some other movies. And then probably the star, the lead actor would be the guy who plays Alvin, Jacques Moseo, but also the Baron. The lead actress, Lisa, is played by Erica Blanc. She's really the star of this movie. Like her screen presence in this film is just like incredible. It's like it reminds me a little bit of Linnea Quigley, but better. you know, from Return of the Living Dead and some other horror films of the 80s. So Erica Blanc, excellent in this film. And I also liked probably the other guy that gets a lot of credit in this is the guy who plays what turns out to be Satan. His name is Daniel Emilfork, who is excellent. He's this bald, creepy-looking guy. He's a Chilean actor who was in, you know, probably you can tell he's just, you know, got a lot of stage experience, and he was an excellent. He had an excellent performance in this film. The Devil Walks at Midnight. I couldn't figure out why Alvin represents pride, the priest. I mean, he has a lust thing that Satan points out later, but I guess it's because he makes a deal with the devil later, and it's like, I'll take me, and then you can have me, and then as long as you give me back the people you kill, as long as you let them live again. And Satan says, "Oh, such arrogance." So maybe that was like pointing out that he was the pride. But this movie works on so many levels. Just the different people sneaking around in the castle. The woman who represents greed, the older woman that was married to Howard. She finds gold because the Baron experiments with alchemy. That's a great scene. Like, in the guy who the old crotchety guy who represents Wrath is sneaking around trying to when he sees the devil. So she pushes him out the window, and there's a snake. The woman who represents Sloth is killed by a snake as she's sleeping. This is just a great. This is an excellent film. It's too bad that I tried to upload last year the scene of the devil and Father Alvin in this little. I couldn't figure out if it's like a little church house or something. Yeah, it's a church, but it's like why would that be on that? I don't know. It's weird, but it's a cool little place that he's in before when he signs the pact, and it burns up after he signs the pact with the devil. It's awesome. But to bring his friends back, I uploaded that to YouTube, and they blocked it because of copyright. However, the entire film, I think under the name Devil's Nightmare 1971, is still on YouTube it's not a paid for thing, and there's no ads. So yeah, YouTube doesn't pick and choose. So I've given up, trying to do that. But tonight I will try to upload because I have this burned on a DVD, and I will try to upload the ending. Like, there's advertisements on the VHS rip that show other films that are kind of similar to it, and I think I've seen maybe one of these films. They're kind of in that 70s low budget horror, early 70s. Yeah, I'll try to upload it. You can check it out. Hopefully YouTube won't pick and choose. It's part of the VHS rip that some wonderful person uploaded. So we're down to 4 nights, boys. Night 16 of Horrorfest. When I tried to record this earlier, the phone overheated. The phone overheating on August. I keep saying August. It feels like August. October the 28th. That's a new one. Overheating like the pact that Father Alvin signs, burning up in the church. Night 16, boys. 4 nights to rock and roll, 4 nights to shock, and this will be a night of schlock, I guarantee you. This one has been in not every Horrorfest, but I think it was, I wasn't able to fit it in 2021, then I watched it later, in January, I think, so that was a weird outlier, but, what a great movie. I think it's still on YouTube, so check it out. The Devil Walks at Midnight. That scene with the guy eating at the banquet feast is one of my favorite scenes. It makes you hungry for chicken, because he's peeling this delicious roast chicken and just stuffing his face. Look at him stuffing himself, one of the people says. So, all right, guys, enjoy Horrorfest. I'm going to enjoy Rio here. Thank God the phone didn't overheat, but it's been an excellent Horrorfest. And we're going to do the one for all the marbles. Water feels good today. We're going to do a one for all the marbles for maybe like food choices. So, all right, guys, thanks for watching this long version of Night 16 of 19 Nights to Rock. General Peters here at Rio. Horrorfest, baby. Horrorfest, Horrorfest, Horrorfest. Rock and roll, shock and schlock, baby. All right, guys. Gorge yourself tonight. Look at Rio. Look at Rio. Speaking of haunted houses, there's a house over there. You probably can't see it. There's a house up there, kind of creepy looking. There's Rio. Peace.